Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and this is the channel where I went to business school so you didn't have to, and today we are talking about Palantir Technologies PLTR stock price predictions all the way out until 2025 to determine if the Palantir stock price is a good buying opportunity right now so it can appreciate as time goes on all the way until 2025. Then we're going to talk about Sofi Technologies SOFI stock and about their approaching catalysts, as well as the latest stock news for this particular stock and what Sofi could also be worth in the future according to analysts. For more videos like this one, remember to go and smash that like button right now, subscribe if you are new, comment your thoughts down below and your price targets for the PLTR stock and the SOFI stock. And without further ado, let's jump right into today's stories. So as you know, Palantir Technology stock currently trades for around $13 per share right now, and if you didn't know, Palantir Technologies creates operating systems and platforms for big data and analytics interpretation for government clients as well as commercial enterprises, and in the past few months, the PLTR stock price has declined by around 40%. The Palantir stock price was trading at a very high valuation, and we know this because their forward price to earnings ratio was 88 back in December of 2021. Their 2021 revenues are anticipated to come in at around $1.53 billion, which to me is very impressive, and it provides investors a fantastic buying opportunity for the stock if you want to hold it long term past 2023 and especially past 2025. It also currently has a market capitalization of around $26 billion. But is Palantir Technologies really worth $26 billion in total? Well, that's what we're going to find out. And we are going to look at two different valuation perspectives when determining if the PLTR stock price is a good buying opportunity and if it's fairly valued right now, or if the stock could appreciate even more in the future. First, we're going to start off that Palantir Technologies is an extremely innovative growth company, and for innovative growth and technology companies, these types of companies deserve a premium valuation. So naturally, they're going to trade at a higher PS ratio and a higher PE multiple than other stocks. The reason for this is because their future growth projections and growth prospects are so impressive that investors want to buy in and get in right now before the company truly starts to scale. And again, in Palantir Technologies' case, that scaling is going to take place in 2023 or especially past 2025, which is why we are going to look at the 2025 price predictions for this company according to various analysts, institutions, and websites. The stock price, besides being dictated by supply and demand, normally is dictated, at least analysts project price targets according to the adjusted free cash flows of a company. And Palantir Technologies is anticipated to deliver an adjusted free cash flow of over $400 million for the year of 2021. So it's ultimately a company's cash flows that determine the overall valuation and worth of a stock. We have actually done calculations off of the FCF model and even the LA Stevens model to determine the PLTR stock price, and we got stock prices anywhere from around $17 all the way up to $31 per share. And both of those price targets are above the stock's current price of around $13. So that just means that it is a good buying opportunity right now, and the future for this company, if you want to hold long term, looks very optimistic. Now, another point of contention that I want to bring up is that Palantir has a CAGR, or a compounding annual revenue growth rate, of around 30% for the next 4 years. This means that this company is going to scale their revenues very impressively, and it also means that they are going to scale their free cash flows very nicely, which should reflect very positively on the overall stock price. Palantir is also integrating themselves into multiple industries, including high growth and up-and-coming industry segments and various markets, including cryptocurrencies. Another reason to be extremely bullish on Palantir Technologies is that they have an order backlog, and this means that they have work that they haven't gotten to yet. It's just sitting, waiting for them to actually start working on it so they can start being paid. For instance, this backlog of work, according to Q3 of 2021, represented around $3.6 billion worth of revenue for Palantir. So even if Palantir didn't sign any more partnerships, contracts, or agreements, they still have around $3.6 billion worth of work that they need to get to. So these are basically guaranteed revenues over the next couple of years. We also know that Palantir has consistently landed new contracts, which means on a year-over-year basis, their company's backlog has actually increased by 50%. So Palantir is looking very nice, at least for their future growth projections, because even if they didn't gain any more clients, which is highly unlikely, they still have a gigantic buffer of work that is outstanding that they still need to get to. Palantir is also very diversified because their technology can be integrated in various different industries and segments. For instance, Palantir is involved with healthcare companies, defense and aerospace companies, retail companies, banking institutions, cryptocurrency institutions, and a lot of other institutions that find Palantir's technology extremely innovative. Palantir is also set to increase their margins, so as their margin expands, they're also going to have better adjusted earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization, also known as EBITDA margins, and that is set to increase around 30%, which again is going to substantially improve their free cash flows. And this has already started to take place because Palantir's adjusted free cash flows for 2021 is $400 million. However, if we go over to 2025, we can see that their free cash flows would be $1.1 billion. And because the stock's price, or analysts' price predictions particularly, are based off of free cash flow estimates from the FCF model that we have done on this channel, this means that the stock price could basically quadruple from what it is right now. So if the stock price is trading at $13 right now, by 2025, we can easily see the PLTR stock price trading above $50 per share. However, this is not even the best part, because this is not including any growth acceleration, larger margins, or very important catalysts for the company that could take their free cash flows from $1.1 billion all the way between $1.5 billion to $2 billion by 2025. So let's go with the most bullish FCF estimate of $2 billion for 2025. This means the PLTR stock price can reach about $65 per share by 2025 if we are using these FCF models and estimates. Currently, Wall Street estimates for the year of 2022 have a price target for the PLTR stock of $20.71 on average. This would imply almost 60% upside from what the stock is currently trading at, with the low-end price target coming in at $18 and the high-end price prediction coming in at $25 per share. Out of 8 analysts, 1 analyst says to buy the stock, 3 say to hold it, and 4 say to sell it. And these price estimates are mainly echoed by CNN. For instance, the high-end price estimate for the PLTR stock of $25 per share for 2022 maintains a $25 price target. However, the low-end price target actually dropped from $18 down to $13 per share. We also see other institutions and other analysts giving their opinion on the stock. For instance, Wallet Investor thinks that the Palantir stock price target for 2022 is $12.54. Their 2023 price target is $11.72, and their 2025 price target is $9.97. So this is an extremely bearish price prediction, and they actually anticipate that the PLTR stock is going to trend down all the way until 2025. However, I personally disagree with this, mainly because of what we talked about earlier, with their revenue scaling and their free cash flow generation is extremely impressive. However, we get more bullish price predictions from Coin Price Forecasts, which says that the current PLTR stock price target for 2025 is $28.31, and the 2030 price target for the PLTR stock is $42.99. Other institutions and other websites actually think that the PLTR stock price is going to trade sideways and just consolidate all the way until 2025, which means that the stock price would be around $14 per share. Now, I adamantly disagree with this because, first of all, Wall Street analysts already think that the stock is worth on average around $20 per share. Also, their 200-day moving average and resistance level is $22.21, and their 50-day moving average is $17.13. And I personally think that Palantir can break these resistance, which will become the new support levels once Palantir receives a big enough catalyst, which I think eventually is going to be one of their earnings reports. Other websites are extremely bullish on Palantir, and they give the 2022 PLTR stock price target of almost $60 per share. They approximate of around $58.96 per share, which would be give or take around 350% upside from the stock's current price. However, when we project further out than 12 months, these are no longer educated guesses, and these are pure speculation. Because unless we know the financials of Palantir Technologies by 2025, we can't really give an accurate price target. So overall, this is bullish news because the price targets are mainly above the stock's current stock price for both the year of 2022 and of course 2025. And if Palantir can continuously scale their free cash flows, revenues, and gain even more backlog work that we talked about earlier, Palantir looks to be on a very good trajectory for their overall company, their growth, and the PLTR stock price. Now I want to talk about Sofi Technologies SOFI stock. And if you didn't know, Sofi SoFi Technologies is a fintech company that has an all-in-one inclusive app that basically can do anything finance related that an individual would need. But currently, SoFi stock has been falling, and it's lost nearly 16% of its market value as of late, which to me just provides a better buying opportunity. And this is despite SoFi becoming an official bank, which is an incredible milestone. They also have one of the highest yielding checking and savings accounts on the market right now, with rates of as high as 1%, which is absolutely phenomenal. SoFi also has fantastic catalysts coming up, such as their stadium is going to be hosting the Super Bowl, so comment down below who you think is going to win the Super Bowl between the Rams and the Bengals. And when federal student loan payments start to actually be activated again and accruing interest, this is going to push students to want to refinance these loans, and who else are they going to go to besides SoFi Technologies, because SoFi Technologies targets students that want to refinance their loans because that is actually what they're most known for, and they make a load of revenue from this particular revenue segment. So overall, SoFi Technologies has fantastic catalysts coming up, and they are looking to scale their revenues and lower their expenses very effectively thanks to the bank charter. And this is coming on top of a very strong jobs report, which means that the labor market is slowly gaining its strength back, which is good for the overall economy, and these interest rate increases are not all bad. However, it depends what investors and entrepreneurs actually decide to do with these interest rate hikes. For instance, SoFi will raise their interest rates on their flexible loans as interest rates rise so they can stay competitive. However, people that want loans are going to be less incentivized to actually go out and get money because they are paying a higher interest rate for it then than they would be paying if they got a loan right now. So with that being said, remember to go and smash that like button right now, comment your thoughts down below about SoFi Technologies and the PLTR stock, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next YT video.